Gary, start with Carl Storer's appeal being rejected. We haven't spoken to you since that happened. I suppose it's one of your classic icebergs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah, and you do get them. We've said that. We know these things pop up and you have to deal with them. Of course, we were disappointed that the appeal was thrown out. You never know who's on the appeal committee. You don't quite know what they see. We thought we had a very good argument. 3 or 4 of us sat down and went frame by frame, trying to explain how we felt it was a normal tackle. And on another occasion, if Stoz had stayed down and the other lad would have got up, then it could have gone the other way, because both went in quite aggressively. But we didn't feel he's gone in with any malice, which is why we appealed. But unfortunately, a lot of appeals get thrown out for whatever reason.
And I suppose you've now just got to deal with it, which going to Doncaster, top of the table, Carl Storer, the role he plays in midfield, he'd been ideally suited for the game.
Yeah, he would, yeah, but it gives somebody else an opportunity to come into the team, and depending on what shape we play and what tactic we play will depend on who actually we bring in. There's probably 6 or 7 that could quite comfortably come into the team at the moment. I went and watched the lads play at Bristol Rovers on Tuesday, and they did really well, and 6 or 7 of them are definitely ready to play in the first team. But it's been our best spell so far, so the continuity is also something that's in your head. So there's one place available at this moment in time, or 1 or 2 places maybe.
And a few weeks ago, you might not have been saying, well, I've got 6 or 7 good options to do that. So I suppose it does show the turnaround.
I think it all goes together when a group of lads put 3 wins and a draw together. What that does, it doesn't make the ones that are out the team happy, but they understand if the team's not changed. But they then have got to step up to the plate and become competitive and give me a difficult decision when I have to pick the next team. And it has been difficult because we've got some very good players that are not in the starting 11 at the moment. And wherever I can, I'm going to try and get them in and get them a game.
We've spoken about Carl Storer being in trouble. Any word yet on your situation from the FA?
I'm not sure if it's official yet. I've got to say whether I'm going to appeal or not. So I think, judging from the last episode with Storer, it's probably best just to say, hold your hands up and go, okay. Even though it's with a heavy heart sort of thing, but we'll have to ask Paul whether it can go public. But so you'll have to bleep this out if it can't. But I've got 1 game and £500 fine. So in effect, that's a normal suspension for a manager that's been sent to the stands.
And that 1 game ban is one you have to watch from the stands. You are allowed to be inside the arena of the ground.
Yeah, I've not killed anyone. I've only I just had a word with the linesman after I was disappointed that he didn't help the referee. So I accept that, and I think I've got to sit. Yeah, I have got to sit in the stands. You just mustn't be on the touchline really, but you still be in contact with the lads in the technical area.
Doncaster away this Saturday. Obviously, the league leaders. You said very interestingly a couple of weeks ago, with the squad that you've got now and the way they're playing, you're happy to go to anywhere. I suppose this is your opportunity.
It's a good opportunity to see how far we've come in the recent weeks, because they are probably the best team, in my opinion, in the division. They are. They've shown that anyway in their top of the table place that they've got. They have gone for it this year. They've got some players in there that are bigger budget players and have come up trumps. You can have a bigger budget players and them not perform. But these lads are performing for Darren, and they are the favourites to obviously win the league as we stand. But they're a very, very good football team with a lot of movement and a lot of energy and a lot of ability when it gets into the final third. So you're going to have to be real ready to look after their attacking play and then try and make sure that they're not just attacking and you defending. You've got to make sure that you're attacking them on occasions. And I think their recent form's not the best. They've been drawing quite a few games, so hopefully we might have caught them at a decent time, but who knows? I'll tell you at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I was going to say I think they've only won one out of the last 7, but they've only lost one out of the last 10. So you know that shows that teams have been holding them.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of teams will go to Doncaster and decide to shut up shop, park the bus, all that sort of stuff. So whether we do that or not, you have to wait and see. But teams have gone at them a little bit. I mean, as well. Accrington scored a couple of goals against them there, and there's been other goals scored against them. So I think sometimes you have to look at what you do yourself and see where you are. There again, we could go like we did at Luton and shut up shop and break on them. So I'm not going to give you or them any inkling as to our tactics.
Except to say that you've got loads of options up your sleeve.
Yeah. Thank you.
Injuries, how's the squad? I mean, Alex Pike in particular has sort of been missing recently.
Yeah, well, West Ham wanted to do his rehabilitation. He had a problem with his thigh, or top of his thigh, and they've been looking after him. I've just seen him. He's in today, so he's probably going to need a little bit of work first on the training ground. He couldn't have done much other than his rehabilitation of the injury. So he's back in, and so it gives us another one to our squad.
And everyone else okay?
Yeah, everyone else is okay. It was important for Diego's, the other one that we haven't mentioned, that he played games, and there's a few different things going on at Bristol City and changes of the under 23 managers moved up. So it was important that he gets his games there as well, and then when needed, we've got the option to call him in.
Thank you. Good luck.
No problem.